All right, North Central Connect. It is August. It is hot outside. Today's show brought to you by the Little River Band. Sorry, we were discussing the Little River Band before.
And I forgot the words. I'd help you out there, but I forgot the words.
Well, that's the second reference we've dropped today on musicians, because you said earlier today that you were like Todd Snyder.
Well, yeah, there was a comparison there, but I'm not very much like Todd Snyder, I'll be honest. But.
As always, it's I'm your media specialist, Justin Jaggers, here for North Central Electric Cooperative. We've got our CEO and General Manager here, Kevin Doddridge.
Hello, everyone.
And our Director of Marketing and Economic Development, Michael Bellapani.
Hey.
And we fired JD again, I guess, this month.
He's had a busy week.
He's had a busy year. So
come on. I mean, he's busy, but
yeah.
Come on. Well, we're going to allow him a little more time next month.
Absolutely. So we're going to get right into it. It is hot. Like we said, it's hot outside, and that has meant unfortunate.
It's not good. There's no way to dress it up, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Typically this time of year, I'm having discussions about late afternoon thunderstorms, lightning, and the heat's starting to taper off a little bit, or you get some relief. I think is the biggest thing. We just have not gotten any relief this summer. We had record-setting temperatures start early on in the summer with no relief. I've made comments about construction starts were really going there for a while, and the dust was flying. But the dust was flying because it was just so dry. Yeah. We've JD did a little research, and I think we're pointing to JD as if he's there. It's a thing of beef jerky. But temperatures on average are up about 4 degrees. And now that's significant. If you look at a 91-degree day versus a 95-degree day, it's pretty significant. And it has really been a perfect storm here in July and August for those trying to pay utility bills. The rate has gone up and the consumption has gone up. And I'll just give you an example. My bill at my home, if you compare July of 2022 with July of last year, my bill is up 40%. Mm-hmm. 10% of that is the rate, and then the other 30% is basically the consumption, how much electricity I used, because it was just so hot. It's easy to say, and it applies to me as well, I didn't do anything differently, but the temperature outside sure did, and mm-hmm. my air conditioners had to run longer to keep the house cool. So there's the consumption side, and the rate went up. As I said, the rate it's poor timing, but it's just the way it happened. Everybody has seen costs going up, mm-hmm. and it kind of hit the power industry at a bad time when consumption was high as well. So when I talk about the rate going up, your rate varies from month to month based on the amount that TVA bills us, North Central, for generating fuel. Generating fuel, to generate power, TVA uses everything from hydropower, uranium for nuclear power, natural gas, coal, there's some wind, there's some solar, and TVA also contracts with other utilities to buy a fixed amount of power. And then sometimes when the utilization of the transmission grid hits a high, they go out to the market mm-hmm. and buy power. So there's a lot of moving parts here. But the commodities went up in generation fuel. TVA tries to forecast that, determine what it's going to be. They hedge against it somewhat. It's difficult in natural gas, but the other fuels they hedge against and have pre-purchase contracts. But fuel prices went up, and then the amount of energy that had to be generated went up dramatically. So it was two things working there. Natural gas has been kind of a driver. Mm-hmm. Hydropower is really probably the cheapest to generate, even though it's more difficult to dispatch. But it hasn't been raining, so the reservoirs aren't really filling up to where they can flow through the hydro dams. So it's really been a difficult time, and we acknowledge that. Mm-hmm. Another component of your rate was some fairly strong storms that came through the Tennessee Valley back in mid-spring, I believe it was. And when TVA loses transmission towers or the ability to flow or the ability to run all of its generation, they do have contracts in place where they go off the system and buy power. It's usually not cheap. But the biggest thing that I can reiterate during all this is we've not had power interruptions based on this heat. Now, there have been times when we said, would you consider raising your thermostat at peak hours? A house raising their thermostat a lot all across the valley can do a lot of good. But us asking you to raise your thermostat is a very small step as opposed to doing rolling brownouts, blackouts, requiring that you curtail your power. It was mainly meant to just keep the grid stable. TVA, as a generator of electric power, they are required to maintain certain reserves that they don't touch. So they want to make sure they don't have to get into those reserves unless it's an emergency situation. So I know a lot of people get concerned when we say, please curtail, and we're serious about it, but it doesn't mean that we're on the cusp of a blackout. So yes, we've had extraordinary heat. Maybe, it's difficult to say when you got an average of 90 or 91, you're seeing some relief, but maybe a touch of relief. As far as the fuel cost goes, like I said, TVA tries to project that. They share their projections with us. And I think August will be the worst month. I think you'll see small declines in fuel cost portions of your bill beginning in September. I do not see to us getting to May 22 levels in the next year, to be honest. It's just not forecasting out that way, but things can change. Real briefly, I'll hit on the supply chain issues that we've been concerned with. They have not gone away. We're hoping to see some relief early in 2023. But for right now, there is really not much of anything that Northcentral is purchasing for our distribution system that is not difficult to get, whether it's heavy equipment, wire, poles, transformers, simple hardware, nuts and bolts. So, folks, I will reiterate, for a supply chain issue, one thing that we do not need right now is an active hurricane season. And we've been fortunate so far. I think we got a little disturbance, but it's still very, very dry, even from West Africa on over. So maybe we'll be fortunate and not have to have that stressor hit the supply chain. I will give a little shout out to TVA, our partner. Like I said earlier, we've not had blackouts. And I know the cost of power is very difficult to stomach right now, but we have it. And sometimes in extreme weather situations in other part of the country, and obviously other parts of the world, when you have peak demands like we've had, they do have to resort to rolling blackouts and disturbing service. So, through our partnership with TVA, TVA's a great transmission system, 99.999% reliability, and a robust diverse generation system, and which is basically constant communication that we have with them. We've been able to avoid that. So we'll talk about it here, and hopefully maybe in September we'll kind of have a different outlook on things.
That's right. And when you talk about the value of electricity, it really is that dependability of TVA electricity, Northcentral electricity is important. And you spoke at the chamber earlier today and gave a statistic about our rates as compared to the rest of the country based on our statistics. And I think we're in the top 14%.
Yeah, we're in great shape rate wise, retail rates. Right.
So that's one factor. And we all pay power bills here, and and, we're all going behind our children and shutting the lights off and doing what we can. But there are things that you can control, and obviously the first thing is your usage. Statistics say the ideal temperature during the summertime is 78 degrees for your thermostat. Not in my house.
No, sorry.
So,
if you can do it, try it. But
a degree or two can make a huge difference.
It does.
Efficiency of your home is important. Checking where those leaks are, where that cold air is leaking out this time of year, and during the wintertime where that cold air is leaking in and the warm air is escaping is important. So sealing and caulking during the afternoon hours, cover the western side of your windows, the western side of your house with window coverings and things like that will help bring that temperature down, because in essence, at the end of the day, your air conditioner is trying to make the inside of your house
Yeah.
cool despite the outside temperature. So, the other thing that you can control is a service that we provide called levelized billing. And levelized billing.
That is a great invention.
It saves my budget, frankly, during this
Really
time of
is.
year and in February and late January, because what we do is we look at your past 12 months of usage, and that's averaged out, and it's adjusted month to month based on the previous 12 months. So your bill may fluctuate. I mean, in this month, I think there are some bills that may fluctuate $20, maybe a little bit more, but on average, it's only going to fluctuate between $2 and $10 maybe. So that's an average. Call our customer service at 662-895-2151 to find out more about levelized billing. That's an easy solution to spread that cost over the year.
Yeah, and a little disclaimer on that. On those months where you don't use as much power, you are going to pay a little bit more because you are kind of averaging everything out.
It
So,
trues it up.
It does, and saves you from the sticker shock during the summer months, and then, of course, you're going to be kind of surprised. Oh, well, my bill's a little higher in the fall, winter months because but you're having to kind of.
You will.
Yeah.
You'll need to be purchasing power from us for at least 12 months. So we'll have a billing history to put you on levelized billing. But I can't emphasize enough how helpful it is.
Yeah,
That's true.
absolutely.
And speaking of spreading things out, I mean, for those that don't qualify for levelized billing, or those who have not taken advantage of that just yet, we understand. We understand that there are balances that can get out of hand when you don't expect a power bill that comes in when you're paying for the previous month that could be outside of your budget. So we want to be lenient. We want to work with you. Our customer service representatives are there to help, and they've been directed to help you out. So call us at 662-895-2151. We will work with you. We do not want to disconnect power, especially during this heat. We're not during heated advisories, and we're not disconnecting power, but those balances can accumulate. And one thing we want to impart on the members is pay what you can. Try and just chip away at it, and then we can spread the rest out and hopefully not let you get too far behind.
Right.
There are a couple other things that we could do to help through our partnership with TVA. They, through their website, energyright.com, that's energyright.com. There are two things you can take advantage of. One of them is the self-audit, and if you sign up online, they'll send you a packet that will allow you to do a kind of a low-level energy efficiency audit, and then they'll send you a box of tools that will help you become more energy efficient, like LED light bulbs and filter whistles and low-flow shower head inserts. But that's a good measure to help you do it. But during this time especially, we feel the pain, and TVA has agreed to waive a $75 inspection fee to have a clear result energy efficiency expert come to your home and do an energy audit. And that's pretty big. That'll open your eyes to where air is leaking, to some energy efficiency measures that you could probably take care of with little cost to help big savings.
Yeah, I mean, you save that every month.
That's right.
You're going forward.
Yeah.
And if you have not checked your AC unit, make sure you're replacing your filter regularly.
Keeping it clean.
Spraying down the outside of it, but also your HVAC company can come do that for you on a regular basis. But that's the biggest thing is check into levelized billing, talk with us, work with us, and we'll work with you.
It's energyright.com. You can also call 865-632-2101. So that's very helpful. So, and one of the things working, with the social media and the accounts that we have here, a lot of the most repeated comment is, "I haven't changed anything." Tell us why that's a problem.
I had this conversation with my 94-year-old aunt this weekend. She opened her power bill and she said, "Michael, I hadn't changed anything." I said, "That's right, but
I hope you were respectful.
I was very respectful. I said, "Aunt Dorothy, that's right, and I hadn't changed anything at my home either, which means that I have not changed my habits. My kids have not quit leaving lights on. and the temperature outside is just it has been
horrible.
persistently hot, and that AC unit has run constantly.
Yeah.
So it doesn't shut off. So we do have to change our habits a little bit to help out the bottom line, and it's just we have to be a little bit nimble these days.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, with one of the things we brought up a few years ago on energy efficiency is just because you turn off the AC and then crank it down when you're back to it, it works consistently as hard throughout the time. So when you lower your temperature in your house, it doesn't cool your home faster. It just makes your AC work longer. And so there's a lot of myths that we try to bust. And follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, Vimeo. We're all over the place now, but we're offering.
Are we on Venmo yet?
Define we.
No. Justin, you can throw up my Venmo code on the
yeah, exactly.
video feed.
Yeah, no, we need one for Kevin. He had a big bill too. And I will say this: me not being a North Central member, I'm a North Central employee. I'm not a North Central member. My utility company has 4 letters in it, and 4 letters is what I use to describe the bill. Unfortunately, it went up more than 40% up north. So keep that in mind. I mean, I know that we're not giving you the world's best news, but we're trying to make it as minimal of a hurt as possible.
I was asked by a member of the media earlier today if there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I said, well, there's hope. There's a glimmer there, but there's not a. It's not going to be a hard landing. I mean, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
But these are really difficult times. A true spike in utilization as well as cost, and maybe we can get that cost to come down a little bit, ease through the fall.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll get a little relief.
And it's like you said earlier. It's not there is inflation. We're not at a recession yet. It's just weird.
It's just weird.
It's just weird.
Well, I know I did read an article from an economist in Forbes who said, yeah, it's kind of some things are inflationary, some's kind of exhibit recession, and it's just weird. It's
It is.
COVID was weird. COVID was weirder. This is weird. I don't know. I don't even know what normal is anymore.
Well, hopefully we'll find out at some point. 2030. Here's open. All right. Well, that is it for us for August.
Yeah.
Keep following us on social media. We have announced our annual meeting, which is October 26th.
That's right. Great.
In our auditorium. If you cannot attend live in person, you can. We will be streaming it on Facebook and Vimeo, I believe. So follow us there. We will have a way for you to ask questions if you have questions. Participate in the democratic process here at the cooperative. And
let me interject one thing,
Yeah.
and that's one thing I'd like to address because in addition to everything else weird going on, I mean, Postal Service is still not as reliable as it is.
No.
And you'll be receiving a proxy in the mail for our board of director elections, and don't sit on those. If you would, just open them up and complete that and drop it in the mail or return it to our office. Because
or attend in person.
yeah, we want you to attend in person, but don't let it sit there with the rest of your mail for too long.
Yeah, if you attend in person, you might have an opportunity to lower your bill instantly.
Yeah, door prizes.
We have door prizes. So, all right. Well, be sure to follow us on social media. Follow North Central Connected, North Central Electric Cooperative, and North Central Connect. Search for us. You'll find us. We're on every social media platform at this point. I think when I started this job, I had a third of the responsibilities I have today. So.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one.